Thank you for joining with me in the journey through A Course in Miracles text by Ken Wapnick, PhD, and this is published by the Foundation for A Course in Miracles. We are on Chapter 3, The Innocent Perception, and we are in Fear, Resistance, and the Atonement Principle. This is page 81. We have concealed the atonement principle, the Holy Spirit's presence, and have done so in two ways. By believing in sin, guilt, and fear, the wrong-minded thought system covering the right-minded one, and by saying that the separation is a reality, which denies the atonement that says it never happened. Then, to ensure that we never find that piece of paper filled with light, the ego covers sin, guilt, and fear with the physical universe, of which we think we are a part. This says there is no mind, meaning we have no way of ever finding the atonement that is there. Its principle is not only buried beneath the belief in sin, guilt, and fear and death, but the ego's defensive strategy has taken us out of the mind entirely, leaving us to die in mindless bodies. The miracle simply reminds us where to look. The love of God will not be found in the world, nor, as the Course's teaching on specialness will remind us, in a church or temple, rituals, or special persons. Love is found only in the mind. Indeed, someone or something may be an instrument in reminding us where to look, but if we believe the love of God is found in externals, we are back in the arms of specialness, one or the other. Another has what I lack. The miracle reminds us where to look for this piece of paper that we misplaced. Of course, it was not really a misplacement, but a conscious attempt to hide it, and then to forget we had done so by blaming others for what appears to be lost. We now move to perhaps the clearest statement in the text of this theme. Peace is a natural heritage of spirit. Everyone is free to refuse to accept his inheritance, but he is not free to establish what his inheritance is. We are free to refuse to accept our inheritance as Christ, God's one and only beloved Son, but we are not free to establish a false identity. Despite our attempts to establish that we are not as God created us as spirit, and we are instead this rotting prison of flesh, the fact remains that we do not have the power to alter who we are, no matter how powerful the bodily witnesses may be. Again, the miracle simply points us to the right place, saying that if we want to remember who we are, we need not go through years of psychotherapy, nor seek the world's latest spiritual psychological fad to help find ourselves. None of these forms of magic is wrong if it helps to move us in the right direction to the mind. But if we really want to find ourselves, we must go within with the Holy Spirit and seek the solution where it is. The way we go inside is first to look outside, but through the Holy Spirit's eyes. This helps us recognize that what we perceive without is a projection of what we have first perceived and made real within. This enables us to realize there is indeed an inside, something beyond the brain, body, and world. It is not just that our sensory apparatus is not sensitive enough, but that it does not work at all. The body cannot bring us messages from the world, since it is the mind that takes the message of separation from inside and places it outside through projection. It is the mind alone that misperceives, and the mind alone that can heal its misperception. Finally, under this theme, we read, "You can perceive yourself as self-creating, but you cannot do more than believe it. You cannot make it true, and as I said before, when you finally perceive correctly, you can only be glad that you cannot. Until then, however, the belief that you can is the foundation stone in your thought system, and all your defenses are used to attack ideas that might bring it to light. This is also a most clear statement, and its meaning is consistently repeated throughout the Course. Within the illusion, we are free to believe we can make ourselves and that we are the authors of our reality. But we cannot make this true. When we awaken, we will be glad to realize that the illusion is not so. However, our current separated state leaves us highly insulted with that thought, hardly a happy one to the ego. Yet, as we begin to disidentify with its thought system, which forgiveness helps us to do, we will gratefully accept the fact that we made all this up. Until that point, we will continue to attack any idea that exposes the lie of our self-creation. Sometimes we will attack these ideas directly, at other times indirectly, which means we will bring the light of truth into the dream of darkness. That is when we try to have Jesus, the Holy Spirit, or God establish the world as real by being involved in it. We are not aware that this is a subtle way of attacking the Course, that in doing so we deny what it is teaching us. Even more to the point, it is a subtle way of keeping the light of truth away. This leads us to our next theme, Christianity, and how its followers fell into the same trap of bringing the light to the darkness, preventing Jesus' true message of light from saving us from our belief in guilt. And we are going to stop there today. Tomorrow we will pick up in Christianity, reading from Ken Wapnick's Journey Through A Course in Miracles text, and this is Chapter 3, The Innocent Perception. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you then. I love you.